Good afternoon. Welcome to the not quite midday mull for Saturday the 2nd of September. With McShane as we work our way through 1 Samuel, today we read chapter 26 where David again spares Saul's life. Saul and the army are chasing David, and at night they go to sleep. David and one of his men creeps into the camp, gets right up to Saul, but rather than killing him, he takes his spear and water jug and he leaves. And as the soldiers encouraging him to kill Saul, he says, "No, I can't do that." And his comment is, "As surely as the Lord lives," he said, "the Lord himself will strike him. Either his time will come and he will die, or he will go into battle and perish." And so David is quite clear that Saul's life is in God's hands, not his. And he knows that God has promised him he will be king, and he's prepared to wait and let God do what God does. And he leaves God in control because he knows that's the best way. And then a little later, as he's talking to Saul, and Saul says, "Oh, I was guilty, I shouldn't have done this, forgive me." David's comment that he makes in verse 23, he says, "The Lord rewards every man for his righteousness and faithfulness. The Lord gave you into my hands, but I could not lay a hand on the Lord's anointed." And so he sees that God will reward people for what they do. And we need to remember the Lord rewards him for his righteousness. And David at this point hadn't seen that. He was on the run. He was still subject to death threats. He was out living in the wilds. He wasn't settled. And he could well have thought, how is this the Lord rewarding me? What's God doing? This isn't the Lord's reward. I've been doing the right thing, and look where I am now. But he was taking the long view. And therefore, for me, it is just an encouragement that God is in control. He will put people in place and remove them from place when necessary. And we can rely on the fact that God will reward. We might not see it immediately. The world might look and say, "Oh, why are you doing this? There's no reward. Look at what you're going through." But we can say, that's fine. I will have patience because I trust in a God who sees it. I trust in a God who loves. I trust in a God who is involved. And I know that God will reward us. So be encouraged to take the long view. And sometimes we will see the reward as David did in his own life. And sometimes the reward will only come in eternity. But eternity is a long time. And I'd much rather have the good things for eternity than good things for a few years here on earth. And that we always need to bear in mind. So be encouraged to walk with God. Trust in him and know that we are blessed.